Hello YouTube, welcome back to another game of Starcraft 2 Legacy of the Void. This is going to be a best of 5 series from our Dreamhack tournament, which has concluded just at the end of January. It's the Leipzig event, which is just one of the very early ones. So on the top right hand side here, we're going to have Harstem playing as Stasio, which I think that's how it's pronounced. It's probably not, but I'm just going to call him Harstem because I know that that's him. He's spawning as the purple Protoss, which is definitely a cool thing to see. Now, Harstem is on Team Invasion eSport, and he is from the Netherlands. His opponent, Nice, is going to be the blue Protoss, spawning on the bottom left-hand side here. And Nice is on Team Braveheart, and he is from Taiwan. It's actually a fairly new player, so I haven't seen a lot of him, which is definitely something to note. He's appears to be on the scene just from 2015, so I'm going to assume that is probably towards the end of 2015 because there's very little information about him. So it looks like he's gone for an expansion before actually going for a gateway. But Harstem has actually gone quite the opposite way, going for the gateway first and then the expansion. Now going for two for the gateway before the expansion sometimes means that he's going to be able to get double the depths up pretty early, but the question really is going to be, where is his economy going to be rolling towards? Now just one gas being put down for Harstem and two gases being put down for Nice. Now is this going to be spotted? Very shortly it is. Is he going to ward off that probe? Ooh, okay, so this is actually, I would almost even let him out, because if he gives away the fact that he's got two refineries, then at that point he might give away the fact that he possibly could be going for early tech. Obviously showing your opponent you have early tech is not a good idea. Looks like we've got two gases also for Harstem, so this pylon being put down here is either going to be used for defenses or he's going to hide a Stargate behind it. Now these two gases have been spotted at this point. Let's see what we've got here. What is he going to be putting down? I don't think he's actually going to put any tech down until that probe is taken care of, because realistically you're going to pretty much screw yourself over if you do that. Now that block, just a note, is actually a full block. There's no way to get inside of that, or outside of that in this case. So looking at worker supply, looks like Nice does have the 4 extra workers, which means that he does have that extra bit of economy. Ooh, what is this? I believe this is going to be some sort of overcharge rush. Now, just to note, this is before the overcharge nerf, which means that this is still going to have the 25 energy overcharges. Now, honestly, the question is here, I don't know if it's worth putting down so many pylons here, and I don't know why these stalkers are just not destroying it. So there we go. Now he still has more overcharges available, so as you can see here, doing a nice bit of damage. I think he should just be focusing down the workers. That would definitely be a bit of an advantage to him. There we go, another overcharge going down. Oh, is he going to manage to snipe that off? Oh, he doesn't quite manage to snipe off. If he focused down the same units, he would have definitely been able. Now the question is really, are pylons that are overcharged, are they able to be controlled, or are they like a sentinel kind of thing that just attacks whatever the hell it wants? Because that is definitely an interesting one. Something I'm going to have to find out myself. I suppose in my next testing session, I am going to be starting to run testing sessions every now and then, just to basically test out mechanics, see what works, see what doesn't work, just to basically see what I can find. I did a bit of research about income, and I found some quite interesting results about the number of workers in a Nexus. So I did it with probes because I was more interested in what the Protoss was doing at the time, so definitely gonna have to try it with some other races as well, possibly. Now there was a Stargate put down here for an Oracle, but on the other side looks like we've got a Dark Shrine, and it's actually a proxy Dark Shrine. So he's getting himself Blink, and he's got a proxy Dark Shrine. So it's very difficult to actually spot something like this. I mean, it's so out of position that, you know, it's almost like an impossible proxy, simply because, or an impossible to find proxy, because there's no way that a probe is going to magically just path this way. And these buildings don't need to produce anything, they're just there to be tech. All the units that are being, well, the one unit that's being brought out of the Dark Shrine, it's actually a gateway unit. So just going to warp that into his opponent's base, and that is pretty much that. So 76 energy on this Oracle. Now, I did a bit of research on the Oracle as well, and it does appear that if you kill 6 workers with your Oracle, you are on about even footing as basically what it costs you to produce the Oracle, the time lost mining, and as well, you know, basically the resource that it costs. So the Oracle costs 300 gas, 300 minerals, and based on my calculations, you can essentially mine about, if you have 3 drones on gas and 3 drones on minerals, you can mine that 300 in about roughly 2 minutes. So it's definitely important statistics to have. It is 6 to make it about even, but I would say that the fact that you still need to reproduce those workers afterwards, your own workers, I would say 7 puts you at a good standpoint. After 7, anything after that is a pretty good position for yourself. Ooh, that's quite a huge attempt there. If you manage to snipe off that pylon, that would be massive. I mean, that's 1, 2, 3, 4 production buildings absolutely taken out straight away. That could have been quite dangerous. Now, interestingly enough, a second Void Ray on the way as well. Is he going to make a third one here? Are we going to have Protoss air superiority? Because that will be awesome. Yes, he is indeed going for that. He's going to have 2 Void Rays and a third one as well. Robotic support bay is coming out for nice. So going to potentially see some disruptors very, very shortly. Now, I don't really know why he's bothering with this right now. All he's going to be attacking in the near future is actually air, so not a huge problem for him to have those rocks in the way. And somebody did obviously let me know why the players actually do that. Apparently, you misclick onto it and you start attacking it by accident every now and then. Let's see, some more Void Rays being made right now. Where are our Void Rays? 3 on the field, so that's a 4th Void Ray. Is he gonna make more? Yes, he is. Oh my god, this is so cool. He's actually making a bunch of Void Rays. This is absolutely awesome. Oh, interestingly enough, Fleet Beacon coming out as well. Now, this could be used for a number of purposes, obviously, not just for carriers. Oh my god, he's building a 3rd gateway. This is so cool. Oh my god, he's even getting weapons for air units. He's definitely going for it. Harstem going for the air superiority build. He does have a bigger army supply, and all he's got against him is stalkers right now. And on his army, he's got 4 Void Rays, immortals, and stalkers. This stalker engagement is absolutely screwed. There's nothing that he can do with that. In fact, I think that if he ran straight into his base right now, he would absolutely steamroll him. It looks like DT's being spawned in here again, just taking out a few probes with it, it seems. 14 lost for Harstem and 12 lost for Nice. Now, how many units is this killed at this point? 6. So this is the magic number. This means that the Oracle has already paid for itself. But, by the way, that 6 worker count doesn't really work if you were actually going for air superiority build. Because if you were, at that point, you can't really consider the 150 minerals and 150 gas that you spent on the Stargate as wasted resources. You can consider that as invested into the production tab or production capabilities, which is fine. Oh my god, I cannot believe this. There is actually carriers on the way. This has got to be the most exciting game that is possibly being made by me over probably the last few weeks. because there's carriers on the way. Oh my god, I haven't seen carriers probably since I would have to say maybe the first or second week that I started casting, which is at this point about a month ago. So seeing carriers on a field is so damn awesome. He's going to be getting himself the increased interceptors amount, and also the sorry, not the increased interceptor amount, the speed for the interceptors, so they spawn faster. I believe it makes the first 4 leave the carrier faster. So a pro player, a pro great game rather, and he's making 3 carriers at a time. That is something absolutely unheard of. Now just a note in terms of upgrades, looks like level 1 air upgrades are now complete. And still 3 of those carriers is going to make more. Yes, he is. Oh my god, he's actually going for so many carriers. This is absolutely insane. I mean, look at this army. He's got so much ground-only units. Like all these zealots, absolutely useless. These immortals, yeah, that's right, you guessed it, useless. These absolutely ridiculously expensive expensive disruptors, yep, that's right, useless. The question is, did he see the carrier when he moved in with his stalkers here? Honestly, questionable, but I want to have a quick look. What has he seen inside the base? He's seen all the air units, so he's kind of aware of it, but the question is, why is he making immortals? At the very least, he should be making stalkers to counter off these units. But ideally, he probably wants to... Oh, here we go. He's gonna see them. And that is that. He putting down... There we go. He does have High Templars on the way, so probably hoping to snipe off a few of these units with Psionic Storms. But honestly, I think... Is it too late at this point? The army supply is bigger for Nice, but if you consider... Let's have a quick look at the units tab. How many of Nice's units can actually fire at air? He's got 13 Stalkers and 2 Archons. Other than that, nothing else can fire at air. He does have the what are they called? By the way, there was a bit of engagement here. That did get destroyed. He does have the High Templars, which are kind of limited in their use. I mean, he can transform them into Archons, which appears to be what he's doing. But Psionic Storms against Protoss air units is not the greatest of things. And look at that. Oh my god, he's making 4 carriers at the same time. He's got level 2 upgrades as well. I think that he's basically doing the build, the whole, you know, maxed out army thing, and then just go straight in. Now, somebody did mention previously that this is very similar to a style of play that was back in Wings of Liberty and Heart of Swarm, but I don't mean in terms of the units, I mean in terms of the basically maxing out before you even move out of your base. Now, oh, okay, here we go, look at this. The Mothership Core is currently being transformed into a mothership. Now, I'm sure you don't need to be told what that means. Motherships are absolutely awesome. They stealth units around them. I don't know if they still have the Archon Toilet ability available. That is something that I think was either removed or nerfed. I can't quite remember. Level 3 weapons for ships are now on the way as well. This is going to be absolutely awesome. Now, he does have quite a number of Archons at this point, so the question is going to be whether it's going to be enough. And a lot of these disruptors taking a lot of damage, actually, so he's destroying them quite quickly. And as you can see, these zealots are just absolutely useless. There's not a whole lot they can do. And how is this engagement going to go? There is disruptors here. Now, he needs to basically destroy a few of these ground units, because the ground units are the only thing that he has the advantage in. Now, there's a lot of lag here just simply because of how many units there are on the map. There's just so many interceptors. And 4 more carriers being produced as well. Oh my god. This is absolutely insane. He has even level 3 weapons about halfway complete at this point. And how many are right here right now? There is a total of 9 of them. Is that 9? No, it's actually 10. So 10 already here, 11 on the way, and 4 more being produced at the same time. Honestly, if Nice can hold this off, I will personally find whoever he is and I will donate my whole bank account to him right now, because this dude is absolutely toast. mean, look at the speed at which they killed that Nexus. Absolutely instantly. Beautiful. And seeing this from a pro player is just something amazing. Something you don't see every day, and something that definitely requires a bit of commendation. At this point, honestly, 133 supply, he did decide to go for the base instead, so there's a bunch of defenses here, which means that a lot of these units are going to get thinned out. Ooh, actually shutting them down before this. There we go, managing to snipe off one, and there is just so much damage going down here. Nexus taken out. There's 3 Nexuses remaining, and I believe just one of them is mining. Yeah, this one is not mining, this one is mining. But is that enough? That is the question. Does have his stalkers here, manages to snipe off 2 carriers, which is actually quite nice, not too bad. And all of these carriers, the air superiority game, I believe this is only the 2nd game in Legacy of the Void, and yes, I have casted about 200 games at this point. This is only the 2nd game where there's actually been a mass air unit engagement. Everything else usually just favors ground units. So absolutely amazing to see this, and I think that this game is over at this point. And there we go, GG has been called, and Harstem takes game number 1. Very well played, and let's move on to game number 2. And that is pretty much it for game number 1 between Harstem and Nice. I hope you have enjoyed it. Of course, leave it a thumbs up if you haven't done so already, and subscribe if you want to see more of my videos. I will see you guys in game number 2. Good luck, take care, bye bye.